Hi, this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments, and I am bringing you today the beginning of day 5 from our trip to Oahu. I know we've been working on this since January. It's kind of hard to believe that we're only on day 5 of our trip, but I'm telling you, we just saw so much and did so much on this vacation. But today we get to go visit the Dole Plantation. So I have some really fun pineapple-y photos that we're going to work with today. And thankfully I also have some cute pineapple-y paper that CM came out with a while back. So we're going to use that and do a cute layout today for you. And yeah, it should be fun. Let's check out my workspace and get started. Okay, so I have a variety of laser borders here, as you can see. These all come from the vitamin C collection. And of course, I've got my pictures from the plantation garden tour at the Dole Plantation, and of course my number 5 for indicating that this is the beginning of day 5. This actually was the day of our anniversary, so that was super fun to be able to go and get some yummy treats at the Dole Plantation on our anniversary. So we'll have that on the page as well. And we have a lot of photos to kind of try to accommodate for this. That's why I'm actually doing 2 layouts, two-page layouts for this. I probably could have used some peekaboo pockets, but I just decided no, I'm just going to do a couple of layouts, a couple of 2-page layouts for this particular one, so that it's easier to see everything. The papers I'm going to be using today come from 2 different collections. Some of, I believe this one, it comes from Vitamin C. This one with the pineapples on it actually comes from something called Tropical Bloom. And that was, I think, a mini pack that CM offered to advisors only. So if you're an advisor, you may have that. Or if you've gotten that from an advisor, you may have that. And again, just in case you're following along, this was our, oh, actually, you probably wouldn't have seen this page. This was a page that I did for just for my own benefit, and because it was a layout that I was copying from someone else, I just didn't share that on my video. So yeah, so you didn't see that one, but that one is really cute and has some cute pineapples on it, even though it has nothing to do with the Dole Plantation. So today we're going to use these 3 papers, and I'm going to use the front and the back of this one because the colors match this paper so well. I'm not going to use the back of the pineapple paper because I want to use all of the pineapple paper. And this is just a kind of a piece of really lightweight cardstock. I think it's the Tropical Wave one that we just got. It may not be called Tropical Wave. I'll have to look it up before I do the description for this video. But at any rate, grab your trimmers. We're going to use our laser borders and our paper, but we'll get to the laser borders in just a minute. Right now, what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut this pineapple paper in half so that I have a piece that is 6 inches, 2 pieces that are 6 inches by 12. So we're going to cut that right down the middle, and one will be on the left side of our layout and one will be on the right side of our layout. Then we're going to cut this piece. I want the yellow side, and I want it to be measured at 5.5 inches. And that's going to be on the left side of our layout. And let's see how much we have left here. We have about 4 inches left of this paper. So I'm going to go ahead and, let's see. 4 and 6 makes 10. That leaves me with another 1.5 inches that I'm going to need to fill. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this at 1.5 inches. so that, whoops, I'm going to use the right hand side to measure my 1.5 inches. There we go. And then I will have all of my page full. Okay, now what I'm going to do is because I selected these specific laser borders for a reason, but first of all, this one right here is going to need to get cut in half. So I'm going to go ahead and place this on my trimmer. And just to make sure that it doesn't move, because I really don't want it to move, I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of repositionable adhesive on it, and that way I can be more confident that I'm going to get a straight cut right down the center of this laser border. Okay, so here we go. All right. Now we're going to use one on one side of the layout, one on the other side of the layout. And if you do that method, sometimes I just go ahead and rub off the adhesive that is then stuck to my mat, so I don't have headaches later. Okay, now I need to cut these into 5.5 inch pieces. We know that the very edge of the trimmer here is 5.5 inches, and so I'm just going to use the shoulder at the top to keep my border straight, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that at 5.5. We may need to do a little trimming later, but for now we are good. I'm going to flip this over. We're not going to use this side, but I'm just for the sake of cutting, I'm going to flip it over and cut 5.5 from that other end. We'll just set that to the side. Okay, then we're going to use this one. We're going to cut this one into blocks of 4, which are not quite 5.5, but they're close. Not quite 5.5 inches, but they are four shells, which is what this one is. This one happened to be a remnant from another layout that I did. So again, I'm gonna just flip it over so that I can make sure I get right there in the middle and keep it level. Do 4. Okay, and then this one right here we're going to do as 5.5. And let's see, how can I do that? I'll flip it this way, and we'll do 5.5 this way. Okay. All right, so those are going to be on the left-hand side as well. All right, so let's go ahead and assemble. That's all the cutting we need to do for right now. And I'm going to do the right side first. So we're going to just take the green laser border that we cut in half. We're going to take our repositionable adhesive and run it intermittently down the border. Now I'm going to go ahead and lay this right up against the jeeping with the cut side right against the jeeping. And this laser border is a tiny bit short, so if you are using a border that is not quite 12 inches, just center it. I didn't quite get mine centered, but it's already down, so I'm just not going to worry about that. All right. Now, the rest of this page is going to have graduated papers, so separate papers like this. And I think I want them like so instead of, or maybe I will just turn that over and just use the yellow, since we will have already introduced the yellow on the other side. And we've got the teal, and we've got the green. I think I'm going to do that because the other print is a little bit too much for me. You might not think it's too much for you, and if that's the case, that's fine. But I think I like just reusing the yellow on the other side like that. So let's go ahead and put that down. Sometimes I have this plan in my head, and then I have to look at it before I can really buy in and sign off on it. I've been thinking a lot about the people of Hawaii this week as we've been watching the tragedies unfold there, and my heart has broken a little bit as I have thought about the wonderful time that we had there and how nice the people all were. And of course we were on Oahu and not Maui, but I am sure that the spirit of aloha in Maui is every bit as welcoming and wonderful as we experienced on Oahu. And I just can't imagine. Whew, sorry. But if you are planning a vacation to Hawaii, I was talking to someone earlier today who said that probably the best thing that we could do to help is to not put off vacations there, because they will need every bit of our support to recover. Obviously, you're not going to be going to Maui anytime soon, but visiting one of the other islands, I'm sure, will help the people who live on Maui. So don't put off your vacation just because of what has happened, if you can help it. All right, this paper, my eye is not lining it up correctly. It's probably not the paper's fault, it's probably mine. Or maybe the jeeping is slightly off. Oh, okay, I think that's okay. Okay, so we're just going to make it so that the pineapple paper is in the middle. And then we're gonna add the yellow. This is a little tricky on this particular side because the other side is quite bumpy because of the embellishment that I made for that side. So it's kind of interesting to have a big lump as I'm trying to adhere things. All right, and then your repositionable adhesive on the other side of that green laser border. And that's going to fit right in here, right along the jeeping. All right, so now we can do the fun stuff with the laser borders that are going to go down the side here. Okay, so I have these plants which quite obviously need to kind of be at the bottom, but they're also going to be kind of floating up here. And we have these 3 shells, so the shells are going to go in the middle and at the bottom and at the top, maybe not all the way at the top. Maybe we'll do like that, and then these shells will go in between right here. But I need to get my precision point scissors out and do a little bit of trimming up because I just don't like to have these things kind of, I want that shape to continue, so I'm going to pretend I'm continuing that curve. And over here I'm just going to trim off and continue that curve. And on this one we're going to create that curve. That one looks pretty good. This one I need to trim just a tad. All right, so I think I like that as far as the variety goes. Or we could move this down just a little bit and move that up. Maybe we'll do that. Looks a little more balanced that way. All right, so we're going to use our repositionable adhesive, and I'm going to apply this to these guys that are going to go down here at the bottom first. And then we'll do the top. And I'm going to center, so remember when we cut these shells, they were not quite 5.5 inches. They were close, but not quite there. So I'm just going to center each time I do those shells because they don't touch the edges. And I'm using my repositionable adhesive mostly because I may want to pick these up and move them around a little bit. And if I want to do that, or if I think I might want to do that, I need the capability of doing that, right? Besides that, whenever, here I'm done with this one. Let's get a new one. Whenever you are working on, oh, give me a second here. I'm going to have to go get one from my stash because I only have regular tape runner on my desk. One second. All right, so whenever you are using or trying to adhere something that has several holes in it, like these laser borders do, I just prefer the repositionable adhesive, even if I'm not going to be needing to pick it up, because it's just so much less stress involved in putting it down. I don't have to worry about glue dripping. I don't have to worry about trying to make sure that my adhesive is in the right places so it's not showing. It's just such a more pleasant experience as a scrapbooker. And so I'm all about making it less stressful. More fun, less stressful. All right, so we're going to get these put in here. Let me see if these are nice and even, because I feel like we got way more space up here than we do down here. I wonder how I could easily do that or adjust it. I don't know. Maybe I can't really. Okay, let's see about getting our pictures put on. So we've got our number 5 that's going to need to go on there somewhere. We've got our plantation garden tour picture. Here's a picture of the plantation house, which is cool. The bromeliad and the train. And so these pictures of the train, what I wanted to do was crop them, cut them down just a little. So let me show you what I'm going to do just to make them fit a little bit better into the space. Not so much this picture because I love the sky and how it kind of shows a lot of the area, but this one for sure because it's not giving us a whole lot of extra to see. So I'm going to cut this at 2.5 inches, and we're going to be able to see everything we need to see. See how I just cut that off? We don't really need that bit of track. We've got our train approaching. We've got another picture of the train even just a little bit closer. This one I'm gonna trim a little bit more of that roof off. So this is still a 2.5 inch photo. And then this one with the train has arrived. Woohoo! They have the cutest little train. They call it the Pineapple Express. And you get on the Pineapple Express and they take you around through the pineapple fields and they tell you about it, and there's signs for all the things that they're growing, and it's just a fun little ride. Okay, so these photos are going to go down this section. Then we've got a sign that says the Pineapple Variety Garden. This is actually in the near the plantation house, and they grow different varieties of pineapple there, so you can actually get to see what the different varieties of pineapple look like. This is what the garden looks like. There's different plots of each of the different kinds. Who knew that there are different kinds of pineapple? I did not. So if you did, you are awesome, but I did not. So I'm just going to go ahead and let me see. I feel like by cutting it into a 4x4 right here, we are not gonna miss that because we're still seeing all of those same plants. So we're gonna cut that like there. And I've got this cute picture of a pineapple. And this is a 5x7, so we're gonna cut this into a 5x5 square. Because that will show us everything we need to see. And let's see, I'm gonna pull this paper out. We may need to mat something. Oh, I'm so sorry. My allergies are in full force again, and I am sniffing. All right, I'm just gonna cut this photo down to about 5.5. So that I can put that on there, maybe mat it, I'm not sure. This one is also going to become a 5.5 so that it's the same as the photo above it. Like so. And then we've got this guy, which will probably nestle up here somewhere. Okay, let's take a look here. Excuse me, I believe we need a journal box. So I may be jumping the gun. Let's check these out. We may need to trim these a little bit too. Yep. Okay, so these need to be cut down to 5.5. And you'll notice I'm not just going, oh, I need a 1/2 inch off of that. I'm actually measuring the 5.5 because I've noticed that sometimes the prints that I'm getting are a little shy of 6 inches. like sometimes up to 1/8 of an inch shy of 6 inches. So if I'm just arbitrarily cutting off a 1/2 an inch every time, then my photos end up different sizes sometimes, which is not what I want. So I find it works better if you do the measure. Okay, so we're going to, now granted most of our cute pineapple paper is getting covered up, but that's okay, because it's about the photos more than it is about the paper, right? Right. All right, so those are going to go up that direction. I need to figure this out over here. This, I really want this particular photo to be a feature. This one could be cut down just a smidge, and then we could lay it over. So I'm going to trim it down to a 3x4. And then I'm going to have the pineapple garden and the variety, the sign that talks about the pineapple garden and the pineapple. Okay, I'm happy with that. The only thing it might need is a little bit of matting, like I said, but I think we're going to be good with that. If I push that up there, then I can put a little journal box right here. Let's see, and I think I'm going to just make that journal box out of our paper that we used on this side, that little strip, so that it kind of just goes along with the colors that we're using, because I don't think I'm going to mat any of these pictures. I think we're going to be okay with them just the way they are. And I'm going to make this a 4.5 by 1.5 inch, 4.5 by 1.5 inch journal box that I'm just going to add right underneath there. All right. Now the only other thing that we might want to do is we might want to have some embellishments. Let's see if I can find my, that's not it. All right, what did I do with those stickers? I had them out here just a little bit ago. Give me a second here. I think they might be in the file here. Nope. All right then. They're not in with my papers. So where'd they go? I bet they're in here. right, so I found my embellishments. Let's go ahead and get these photos adhered, and then we'll proceed with doing a little bit more decorating. I'm going to speed this up so you don't have to watch me take the time to put all these down. Okay, so I have this about 1/8 of an inch from the top here, and then I just centered it on that 6 inches, so there's about 1/4 of an inch on either side of the photos on the pineapple paper, and just about 1/8 of an inch in between each of the pictures and between the one on the bottom and the base of my page. All right, so then we also need to add our number 5. This is, if you remember the first page of the Hawaiian album, not the title page, but the first layout that I did, or no, I beg your pardon, it is the title page actually. It has a beautiful flower just like this, that it's yellow, that I took that picture of that flower at the Dole Plantation while I was in line waiting for the train. So just a little tidbit of trivia for you. So these are the stickers that go with vitamin C, the collection from back in 2020 that we had, vitamin C. And there were these cool laser pine or palm trees, which are awesome. But I don't think we're going to be using these today. We may use them in the layout for next time. But they were really cool. And then I've got these really nice stickers. These are the border stickers that came with that, the bubbles I think I used on another layout, and surfboards, which are cool. And so if you have this collection and you're doing some summer photos, these are awesome. Really, really fun. It was a really, really fun collection. I'm just trying to see if there's something here that might be appropriate for our layout here. So we could do Just Another Day in Paradise. I think that would be appropriate, right? Just Another Day in Paradise, or Going Tropical. Something like that. And we could use, look here, we've got a pineapple sticker. We can just add to that and make it a cute little cluster. Those 3. And then I would probably put it right down here, since we've got our number up here. We've got all of this going on here. We could probably even put it more in the middle. Pop it up with some foam squares. I know one of my sweet Facebook and YouTube friends pointed out the other day that I didn't use foam squares on one of my videos, and she was absolutely right, and I had totally forgotten that I had skipped the foam squares on that particular layout. I don't know why. I like foam squares for the most part. Emily's singing to me. Do you remember me singing that song? I don't know why she swallowed the fly to you when you were a kid.
I do.
Didn't we have like a little bit of a twist on that we did? I can't remember now.
I don't. But we sang the I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and a hug around the neck, a hug around the neck, and a
Barrel and a heap, a barrel and a heap, and I'm talking in my sleep about you.
about
Who? About you.
We sang that to Michael a lot.
Yes, you were right, we did. To the point where I think he got a little bit annoyed with us.
And you always sang Over a Rainbow to us.
That's true too. It was a favorite. Plus it was one of very few songs that wasn't a hymn that I had memorized. All right, I'm gonna just put this palm tree, since it's a sticker and it's about the right size, I'm gonna stick that right there, and we'll make our other cluster. Let's see what else I can put with that would be appropriate. Maybe a shell. Do we need some green up there? We got a lot of green in our photos, so probably not. How about just some flowers? We'll pull out a couple of flowers, and we'll just make a little kind of cluster down here at the base of the palm tree. That works. Veggie Tales were really popular when my kids were small. So we liked to sing Veggie Tales songs. Though many of them are escaping my memory at the moment. And if you're not familiar with VeggieTales songs, you can look them up on YouTube and listen and watch. We discovered that the other day. It's just kind of fun to waltz down memory lane, singing about missing hairbrushes and
Say boo.
say boo.
Because I love my lips.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. I love my lips.
Now's the time for silly songs with everybody. Father show there comes out and sings
A silly song. All right. I think we are about done with this particular layout. Let me know what you think. I think, like I said, I'm only going to do 2 clusters of embellishments because we've got our number 5 up here. We've got all of these laser borders going on over here. I think we have enough to see, and we'll journal in this box to talk a little bit more about exactly what we did and how we enjoyed standing. It was really warm, but at least we were in the shade, waiting for the Pineapple Express. Super fun. And next time we'll be back with a little bit more from the Dole Plantation. So I hope you'll join me next time for that. Thanks so much. And until next time, I hope you have many more creative moments. Y'all have a great day.